Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill, and I am your e-recruiter. We are so thrilled to be here with you once again for a virtual event. Before we get started here, we're going to pause and just let some of our registered guests join us and go ahead and get settled. But while we wait, I would like to give you another reminder about the college tour. Now, if you've been a part of some of these virtual events, you've probably heard me talk about the college tour before, but it is worth repeating. So grab your smartphone, scan that QR code that you do see on your screen, and that will take you to a special website that will give you all the information that you need to know about the college tour. And now let me give you a little bit of background. That series is called The College Tour, and it is featured on Amazon Prime. They have showcased UC Merced in our very own episode. It is 30 minutes long. It is 100% dedicated to our campus, our academics, talking about everything that we offer here at UC Merced as part of the Bobcat family. And we also have 10 of our current Bobcats who are focused on in that premiere episode. So we're really excited to be able to show that to you. And of course, right now, it has not yet premiered on Amazon Prime. That is coming up later this month, but as of right now, you can get that exclusive link by clicking on that website that you will get whenever you scan that QR code. So right now, we're going to pause for just another moment or so and allow a few more friends to join, and then we will get started. I'll be right back with you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill, and once again, I am here with you as your e-recruiter, and I couldn't be happier to be welcoming you to another part of the Bobcat series here that we have, part of the Become a Bobcat virtual series. Now, on your screen now, you will see that QR code. Go ahead and grab your smartphone, give that a scan, and you can take a look at our special episode of the college tour. Now, it hasn't yet been dropped on Amazon Prime, but that series is part of Amazon Prime. It is featured there. So go ahead and scan that. You can take a look at that episode later on at your leisure, but it is 30 minutes long. It showcases 10 of our current Bobcats, and you will get to hear their story on how they found UC Merced, why they love being a Bobcat so much, and all of their opportunities that they have found here and experiences, both living on campus, maybe off campus, the dining that we have here, research opportunities, internships, academics, sports, social life, everything you could possibly imagine, as well as their backstory on where they come from. So we're excited that we could offer that to you. So go ahead and take a quick scan and you can save that link. And like I said, too, this is not yet premiered on Amazon Prime. So that is an exclusive link just for you. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill, and I am your e-recruiter. Let's go ahead and get started with our event tonight. So as you see on your screen, we will be talking about TAG this evening. So UC Merced Transfer Admission Guarantee, or TAG. You will hear us use that term throughout tonight's presentation. Before we do get started, a couple of quick Zoom reminders. If you need to adjust your audio settings, you can do that in the lower left corner of your screen. If at any time you would like to zoom into something that you see on your screen, click on View Options in the upper portion of your window. Now that could be very key later on because we will be showing you several screenshots towards the end of how to do a submission. So there might be some small text there, so definitely keep that in mind. Just click on View Options and you can zoom right in if there's something you'd like to get a closer look at. Lastly, and always most importantly, we're here to get to your questions. So make sure that if you do have something that we're not getting to in the presentation that you would like to ask us, go ahead and click on the Q&A button. We will get to those behind the scenes because, of course, we're always fully staffed with our content experts there. And we will also save a couple of those questions for the end during a live question and answer session. All right, so just a quick overview here. We will, in just a moment, be giving you that overview of the UC tag, as I mentioned. Then we also have the UC Merced tag specifically. We also will be going over those submission process and the requirements. And then, of course, as promised, we also have that live question and answer session towards the end of tonight's event. My name is Ricky Hill, your e-recruiter. And once again, I'm so excited to be welcoming you here tonight. At this time, I'd like to hand things over to my friend and colleague, Brandon.
Thank you, Ricky. And hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Prez, and I currently serve as the lead transfer advisor and TAG program coordinator within the Office of Admissions at UC Merced. And I'll be starting off tonight's presentation. So our first section here is going over the UC tag. And again, that stands for our Transfer Admissions Guarantee. So starting off here is some terminology that we use or acronyms that we use and that you'll continue hearing us use throughout tonight's presentation. So the first one there on our screen is on the left-hand side is UC TAP. And so TAP, that stands for our Transfer Admissions Planner. And the TAP tool is utilized by all 9 undergraduate UC campuses, and that is required for submitting the tag application. And then there in the middle section, we have that UC tag circle, and tag, again, that stands for our Transfer Admissions Guarantee. And the way the tag program works is that one tag application is submitted to one participating UC campus to essentially have an early pre-evaluation for your transfer process. And then there on the right-hand side is the UC application. So that is separate from the tag. So if you do submit a tag, which we're definitely hoping you do, just also remember to submit your UC undergraduate application. And since you do or you will be having a TAP account to submit your tag, all that course information will be imported to your UC application. So definitely one of the pros or perks of using that UC TAP tool. And then here in this next slide, it's just going over understanding the tag. So as I mentioned, so it's one tag application, and there are currently 6 participating tag campuses. So UC Merced is one of the 6 UC campuses that is participating in that tag program. And then some of the benefits, so there's that early application review. And so again, we're essentially reviewing your application a whole semester sooner. So we're definitely able to provide kind of like customized advising and feedback and hopefully be able to keep you on the right track for all your transfer requirements. And then the last circle there, so it is a conditional admissions, and essentially what that means is that your admissions will be guaranteed as long as all the conditions to that tag are met and complete. And then here are some of our general tag requirements. So the first point there, so you must be transferring directly from a California community college. To have completed at least 30 semester or 45 quarter UC transferable units at one or more California community college. And then just a little sub point to that bullet point. So the last college that you have attended that does need to be that the most recent or prior semester before applying to us as a transfer student. So just making sure that your most recent semester is coming from a California community college. And then the next point there is to meet the minimum GPA requirement. And this does vary by majors and the UC campus in which you submit your tag to. And then must meet the campus specific requirements. So we'll be going over that more in depth tonight for our campus specific requirements here at UC Merced. And then continuing on the general tag requirements. So the next one there is to have a minimum of 60 semester or 90 a quarter UC transferable units completed to fulfill the tag. And that's also the same for if you're just applying as a what we consider a regular transfer student, so a student who has not submitted the tag. And then we do have some criteria that is not eligible for tag. So the first one there, so a student would not be tag eligible if you are concurrently enrolled in high school. So again, the tag program is, or it is intended for transfer students. So that's why high school students are not eligible for this program. Another reason there would be a student would not be tag eligible is if they're enrolled at a campus other than a California community college during the final academic year. And another reason there is not tag eligible is if you have already earned a bachelor's, graduate, and or professional degree. And then a student would also not be tag eligible if you were previously enrolled at a UC for a regular term. And then here on this slide, so this is our tag matrix. And essentially what this is a table or kind of an outline of the different tag requirements, tag criteria for the different UC campuses. And so it's just a good resource if you're considering or trying to figure out what exactly each of the tag campuses, what their tag requirements are and their deadlines. So it's just a good kind of a one-stop shop to see all this information. And then next, I'll be going over UC Merced's tag specific requirements. So at UC Merced, so our fall tag application is filed during the month of September for the fall term. Um, and then that fall term would start or begin in August. So for example, students transferring for fall 25 will complete the tag application during the filing period of September 1st through the 30th of 2024. So essentially, a student is applying almost a year ahead to our campus. And again, that is to give us time on our end to do that pre-evaluation. And then kind of a similar situation there for the spring. So the spring tag application is filed during the month of May. So right now for the spring term, and the spring term begins in January. So the example of that, students transferring for spring 25 will complete the tag application during the following period of May 1st through the 31st. So again, that spring 25 tag application is currently open and will be open through the remainder of the month. And then some UC Merced tag specific requirements. So similar to the general tag requirements, a student must be full-time enrolled at a California community college, meet the GPA requirement for your major, and we'll be going to those specific GPA requirements shortly. And then to complete the minimum English requirements by the end of the spring term prior to fall enrollment. And then to complete the minimum math requirements by the end of the fall term prior to fall enrollment. And then some additional UC Merced tag requirements. So to complete the required major preparation for your major, a student cannot have unrepeated grades of no pass Ds or Fs in UC transferable coursework. And then the next one there is a student can have no more than 2 total withdrawals in major preparation courses. And then the last one there is no more than 1 major prep course where grades of no pass D or F were received, even if it was repeated with a passing grade. And then now going into our School of Engineering tag requirements. So for the School of Engineering, the minimum GPA tag requirement is a 3.0. And then the other tag requirement there is to complete UC Merced course requirements prior to enrolling in the university. And so that goes back to what I was mentioning in the previous slide about those English courses and then that math course that is required to transfer. And then we have a list there of our approved tag majors within the School of Engineering. And that is bioengineering, which is all the emphases that are associated to that major are included in that. Computer science and engineering, civil engineering, environmental engineering, material science and engineering, and then mechanical engineering. And then the courses that are required for the individual majors. So I'll briefly go over these. So environmental engineering, material science, and then mechanical engineering. So those three separate majors have the same tag requirements or tag criteria. So for those three majors, our chemistry 2 class is a required class along with math 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then we have physics 8 and 9. And then on the right-hand side there, we have computer science and engineering. So there's some differences there. So um, we have our computer science and engineering, or CSE 22 and 24 are required, and those courses do need to be completed with a grade of B or better to be considered for tag. Then the next courses we have there are CSE, or computer science and engineering 30, math 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then along with physics 8 and then physics 9, and that does include the lab components as well. And then next we have bioengineering. So the courses there that are required are biology 11 and 11 L, which stands for the lab course that's associated to that. And then we have chemistry 2 and chemistry 10. And then that math series again. So math 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then the last two there are the physics 8 lab, and then the 9 and 9 lab. And then for civil engineering, we have chemistry 2, math 21, 22, 23, 24, and then physics 8, 8L, and then 9 and 9L. And then the next school that we have tag criteria for is the School of Natural Sciences. And so the approved tag majors there are applied mathematical sciences, all emphases, biological sciences, BS, or Bachelor's of Science, all emphases. And then one of our newest majors that we now have is our biological sciences, Bachelor's of Arts, or BA. So that is also approved for tag. And then we have chemistry, and that includes all the emphases with that. Environmental system science, all emphases, and then physics, all emphases. And then the tag requirements are a little different than the School of Engineering. So their minimum GPA requirements at 2.9. And then the other requirement there is to complete UC Merced course requirements prior to enrolling in the university. And then the 6 majors within the School of Natural Sciences that are eligible for tag, again, are listed here. And then we have the different course requirements, course criteria. So I'll briefly go over this. So for applied math, it is chemistry 2, math 21, and math 22. And then we have physics 8, 8L, physics 9, and 9L. And then under biological sciences, Bachelor's of Science, or BS, we have Bio 12 and then the Bio 12 lab, Chemistry 2, Chemistry 8 in the lab, and then Chem 10. And then the next required courses there are Math 11 or Math 21, Math 12 or Math 22. And then for biological sciences BA, it does differ a little bit. So we have Biology 11 and Biology 11 lab, Chemistry 2 and Chemistry 10, and then Math 11 or Math 21. And then now looking under chemical sciences, we have Chemistry 2, Chemistry 10, Math 21, and Math 22. And then Physics 8, 8L, 9, and 9L. And then under environmental system science, we have Chemistry 2, Chemistry 10, Math 11, or Math 21, Physics 8, 8L, Physics 18 and 18L. And I think I forgot to mention, but this is a or, so it's just one or the other. So both of those courses are not required. And then under physics, we have math 21 and math 22, and then physics 8, 8L, and then 9 and 9L. And then now I'll be handing it over to my colleague MJ, who will be going over the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts tag criteria.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is MJ, and I am one of the Merced Promise coordinators. So I will go ahead and mention about the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts pertaining to tag. So for students interested in submitting a tag to a major within the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts at UC Merced, here's what you need to know. So for all the majors required, you do need a minimum of a 2.8. Except for psychology, you need a 3.0. And then additionally, you must also complete the UC Merced required courses. So those are going to be your regular transfer requirements as well. Okay, so here's going to be a list of all our approved tag majors. So they're going to range all the way from anthropology to writing studies. There's multiple. Just make sure that you're looking into whether for cog science, it's either a BA or BS. Those requirements are going to look a little bit different. Okay, and then now we are going to get into the breakdown of the specific requirements you need to satisfy according to your major. So then it's broken down specifically upon the major that you're going to do your tag with. So for example, for anthropology, you need at least one course from Anthro 1 or Anthro 3 or Anthro 5. So it's also going to vary. So just go ahead and depending upon your major, take a look at the requirements needed. Okay, and then here we also have economics, and then they're going to be different emphases. So also take into consideration which emphasis you want to focus on when you transfer over to UC Merced, because the requirements are going to look a little bit different. So for example, for economics and analysis and policy emphasis, it's going to have Econ 1, Math 11 or Math 21, and then Math 12 or Math 22. And then that's going to look a little bit different for quantitative economic emphasis. And the last one, the emphasis here is going to be that last requirement, the Math 23, is not required for tag and for admissions, but is just strongly recommended. Okay, and then here we have 5 other tag majors also in the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. And here's a breakdown of their specific requirements that you need to satisfy for the tag. So like I said, everything's going to be a little bit different. It's going to vary. History, it has the requirements are not really specified there. It's going to be more of like as long as you complete 2 UC transferable courses in history versus psychology, they have the stated 2 courses that you do have to complete. And remember with psychology, you do have to have that 3.0 GPA requirement in order to fulfill your tag. And then here as well are our other courses, our other tags that you could go ahead and select. We did open up our tag to English. So there's an option 1 and then there's an option 2. And just take a look at the emphasis is a little bit different just because that 2.0, 2.8 GPA requirement is going to be different from the 3.0 requirement. So just making sure that when you're selecting one, you're taking and you're looking closely into the requirements because they might vary, whether it's the GPA or whether it's the courses. For the option 1, you have 3 UC transferable courses in English versus the other one, you only need to complete 2. Okay, and then we also have these other, our remaining 3, and this is going to be for public health and also our Global Studies Arts program. Our Global Arts Studies program just got opened up to tag. So this is something that's for students that are interested this spring application season that's opening up. And then we also have our writing studies that's completing a minimum of 2 of the following courses, and they're stated right there. And then students can go ahead and find detailed information about tag requirements regarding whether it's, you're thinking about applying to tag, or maybe you want to pursue a tag, or maybe you just want to check if you're actually eligible, they could go ahead and check out the UC Merced official webpage and check out under the tag webpage to see exactly under what they're interested in. If they need more information, they could get everything here. And then I will go ahead and hand it over to my colleague, Marceni.
Thank you, MJ. Hi, everyone. My name is Marceni Martinez, and I am the Admissions Transfer Advisor for the North Central Valley region. So I work with community college students from the Modesto to Sacramento area and to help them understand the transfer process as well as assist them as they are ready to apply to the UC. So let's get started with the tag submission process. So there are 3 things that we like to remind students when starting the tag. Number 1, to prepare. So make sure that you research the tag requirements for your campus and major of interest. Review the tag matrix on the UC admission website under transfer admission guarantee, and refer to your campus of choice tag website for more detailed information. Also, apply. So make sure that UC tab is complete and accurate with all academic history included. Select your campus and major of interest. And lastly, maintain eligibility. So complete all tag requirements as planned and maintain tag eligibility. Stay on top of communications from tag campuses. And meanwhile, complete your UC application to as many schools as you wish during the application period. Okay, so what you see here on the screen is a screenshot of what the UC tab website will look like. The first step to submitting the tag is creating an account. So this is what you'll see, and you'll click create a new account if you don't have one. Let's move on to the next slide to talk a little bit more about benefits of the UC tab. So here are some important things to know about the tab. Create a working transcript of coursework and track progress for UC requirements. It will also help a UC staff to communicate important information to prospective transfer students, and submit a transfer admission guarantee application. And it will also be easier to transfer your coursework from this tool to your UC application when applying. Next slide, please. All right, so what you see here is the home screen of the UC tab. On the right is the navigation section of the tab. So you'll see the About Me, My Academic History, and My Transfer Plan. From the opening screen, you'll be able to see your current tag status as well as important upcoming dates and deadlines. Next slide, please. Let's go over the My Academic History section. So under the My Academic History tab, you simply indicate the term and college attended or attending, and run a search for the name of the course to enter coursework information. You will want to have your unofficial transcripts available so that you can include all courses taken at any community college or universities that you have attended. Next slide, please. Ask by typing the first 3 letters of the subject or entering the course number. If your course is generated in the list, click the title of the course and indicate whether it is completed with the grade in progress or if it's going to be planned. The other cool aspect of the system is that it will account for any courses that are repeated if taken at the same institution. Let's go ahead and move on to entering courses. So in some cases, a student may have to enter a course manually. If a course you've searched is not found, after trying to search for the title or the course subject, just simply click My Course is not listed here and add it. And then you type in the information exactly as it appears on your transcript. On this slide here, you will see the course summary. So in this section, you will see the overall GPA and your units, in addition to the courses that will satisfy the UC course pattern. Okay, so on this slide, it'll be for you to enter your exams. So if you have an AP or IB exams that you would like to include, you can do so by entering them here. If it's transferable, it will show up on the list as indicated by the screenshot on this slide. If you receive a passing score of AP or IB exam, you may be able to get some transferable credit applied to your overall unit count. You will be able to review your exam summary at the very bottom of the page, and this will allow you to see how much transferable credit you may receive if some of the exams are applied to your overall unit count. Let's move on and talk about gaps in education. So while under the record review tab, you may notice text in red, such as what's showing on here on the screen. This text indicates that there may be a gap in your indicated dates of enrollment of 4 or more months. So the system will ask you to explain any gaps in your education. Please provide as much detail as you feel comfortable with. We're just trying to ensure that you were not enrolled at another college or university at the time. So for example, a good description would be something like, I was unable to enroll due to financial reasons, or I was working during that time and I couldn't enroll in courses. And an example of a vague description would be if a student just said, I was not enrolled in classes at the time, because that doesn't really give us any context for what was happening during that time frame. So if you'd like to go back to the academic history tab, you'll see the next the text box under each term that allows you to write and explain those gaps. So whether you were working, traveling, or just a long summer vacation. All right, let's get started with the tag application on the next slide. So on this section, you will indicate the campus and major you wish to transfer to. You will first enter your current community college. And then second, you will put the term and year that you plan to transfer. Just keep in mind that this is just a screenshot and it's just for an example. And then lastly, you will select a campus to which you want to tag to. And then just remember that you can only submit one tag to one campus. Next slide, please. Okay. Here you will indicate the campus and major you wish to transfer to. So you'll choose your major, and after you have selected the campus and major, a tag checklist will generate. After you have selected the campus, a full list of majors will appear in the drop-down that says choose your major, and only the majors that are available for the tag will be the major you wish to transfer to, and please make sure to make the time to read through the tag checklist carefully. It will reiterate some of the necessary contingencies, including full-time enrollment at a community college, the unit's minimum or the minimum preparation and minimum admission requirements. Next slide, please. Let's go over a review and start tag submission. So once you select start tag submission, the application process will begin. And so you notice the red box indicating problems with the application. It states that we have not provided any in progress or planned coursework, and that there may be 2 gaps in education where you did not provide an explanation. So there is a link that will allow you to go back to your coursework and make adjustments where necessary. Next slide, please. So let's go over the tag submission, step 1. So on this page, you will be asked to confirm that you have selected the major and campus you wish to submit a tag. It will also remind you that once you have submitted a tag application, you will not be able to update any information other than your personal information until the tag positions have been returned for the term to which you applied. Also, just as a warning, please remember that omitting any information could lead to the denial or revocation of your tag. Remember to submit all coursework from all institutions, whether they are UC transferable or not. To continue the application submission process, read through the information, then click next. And once again, be aware of the red box indicating problems with submitting a tag. So just make sure that you meet all tag requirements that are set by the campus of interest before moving forward with submitting an application. Let's go on to step number 2. Okay, so here it involves reviewing the tag checklist for the campus you selected. This section, you will have to go through each checklist item and check off the box to ensure you read and meet the requirements. Next slide, please. For step number 3, you'll make sure to verify that you selected the correct campus and major one more time. If you need to view the campus requirements again, there should be a link that appears underneath the major. Next slide. Okay, and lastly, in step number 4, you will be asked to take a survey for each of the UC campuses that you may apply to. But selecting campuses on this list does not imply that you are choosing to submit a tag to the other campuses listed. The survey is just informational for the UC campuses you select to be able to contact you about possible admission opportunities. So whatever you choose to decide when selecting campuses will not affect your tag application in any way. Next slide, please. So once you finish the survey and click next, your tag application will be submitted and you will see the confirmation page. So just make sure that you take a screenshot or you save a PDF of this so you have it on file. All right, so now that we have gone over how to submit and create a tag, I will pass it on to MJ where she will talk about the next steps.
Okay, hello everyone. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the next steps once you get your tag back, whether it's approved or denied. So first, we're gonna talk about what happens once a tag gets approved. So your next steps will vary, and if your tag was approved, then congratulations. You will need to look over and read your contract very carefully. This agreement is between you and your future school. If you fulfill everything on your agreement with your tag school, then your spot is secured for your semester you applied for. It is essential that you promptly address any messages or inquiries from your campus. Ensure that you submit your transfer academic update by the date according to the semester you plan to enter. Also, don't forget that you will still need to apply to your tag campus with the exact major that you submitted your tag with. Make sure your major on your UC application matches your tag agreement major. While applying to your tag campus, feel free to apply to other campuses that you desire during the general UC application process. Next slide, please. Okay, so what happens if your tag gets denied? If your tag was denied, don't be discouraged. Carefully review the reason for the denial provided by your campus. Keep applying. Not getting a tag approval doesn't mean you can't be admitted through the regular application process. So make sure even if your tag gets denied, you can still submit your regular UC application. Okay, and then I will be going over reminders and tips. So make sure that you enter all your courses exactly as they are listed on your unofficial transcripts. When you're applying to the UC, ensure you choose the same major as your tag. Make sure that you're meeting all general tag-specific requirements, and make sure to double check that if you do have an emphasis, you're looking at those specific requirements. And if it's a BS or a BA, make sure you're also looking into that because they could vary the requirements. Immediately report any changes in your course schedule to your tag campus. Tag requirements differ across UC campuses and majors, so make sure that you're checking in whether you're getting tagged for UC Merced or to another institution. They will vary. And then it is also highly recommended that you seek personalized advice from your community college counselor or a UC transfer advisor. Okay, and then I will go ahead and be going over the tag dates and deadlines. So here are some key dates and deadlines to keep in mind. So they're going to be split between two different timelines, which will vary depending upon which semester you will be transferring in. For transferring, if you're planning to transfer coming into the fall semester, go ahead and take a look at the first one. The filing period will be during September 1st through the 30th, and your UC application will need to be filed and submitted between October 1st through November 30th. Your TAU, so your transfer academic update, will be due in January, and spring semester, just make sure you maintain your tag eligibility. If you're planning to transfer for the spring semester, go ahead and take a look at that second timeline. The filing period is currently open, and it closes until the end of May. Your UC application will be open at the beginning of July of this year and will need to be submitted by the end of July. Your TAU is due in August, and for the fall semester, just make sure you maintain your tag eligibility. Okay, so if you ever find yourself that you need some guidance or assistance with your tag, or if you have any tag related questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us, whether it's Brandon, MJ, myself, or Marceni. Feel free, there is our contact information. Feel free to take a picture. If you have any type of questions, we're more than happy to help. And I will go ahead and hand it off to Ricky.
Yes, thank you so much, MJ. What a wonderful presentation tonight. It is just zipping right by. We do have a couple more announcements for you. And then if you have not yet sent in your question, now is the best time to do it because we are getting ready to jump into those here in just another quick second. Before we do, though, I'd like to share a couple of other upcoming events with you. You see those on your screen as well as that QR code. So if you scan the QR code, that's going to take you over to the admitted page, which you probably are familiar with because you're at this event tonight, or you may have joined us on a previous virtual event as well. So if you have done that, then you are familiar with that page and you will be able to see some of these other upcoming events. So the first one that you see there is Transfer Day. That is coming up on Saturday, May 18th. And as you see on your screen, you will be able to get a myriad of things accomplished that day, including a campus tour. So if you haven't yet had a chance to visit our beautiful campus, that would be a great day to do that. You'll also be able to learn about some next steps, different opportunities. Transfer support services will be available, and you will get to meet many of us there that day as well. You can also connect with other transfer students. And of course, I always say that the best way to learn about UC Merced, as much information as all of us pro staff, as they call us, as much as we can share with you, and as helpful as that is, the best place to get your information and to get your questions answered would be from other students. So current students, and in particular, transfer students, so that they can share with you what their journey's been like and answer those questions for you as well. And then you also have opportunity to visit with what we call the Students First Center. Now, if you haven't been there, they are the one-stop shop on campus, and they can answer questions ranging from admissions, financial aid, registrar, billing questions, as well as many others. And so if you do have any questions for them that day, or you can also turn in anything that you may see that is popping up on your checklist as part of your next step. So supplemental documents, for example, you will have that chance to go ahead and submit those in person as well. Now, we also have a couple of other virtual events coming up. The one listed on your screen is Next Up. So that is, have you submitted your SAR and what is next? So we'd like to make sure that we make ourselves available throughout the entire process. So that way, if you do have questions, we are here for you, and also giving you exactly what those next steps may look like. Having said that, we also have a website that is admitted.ucmerced.edu, just like that QR code. But instead of the events portion, you'll click on Next Steps. And once again, just like it sounds, it will give you a very long website of many of the dates and deadlines that are coming up for you over the summer, all the way up until the first day of instruction in August. But that webinar would be a great place as well to hear us actually talk about those things with you. And lastly, on this particular screen, although it isn't the last virtual event, but on this particular screen it is, showing you on June 11th, we will have another financial aid event for you. We had one just about a week or so ago that is actually available on the events page for you as an instant replay, so that is available. But this one will be talking specifically about funding the student's education and how you can go about doing that. And then once again, you always have a time available to you for question and answers. All right, one more quick announcement before we head into our Q&A section. We have something that is called the Bobcat Den. And now if you haven't heard about that, let me tell you about it. It is structured just like a social media platform, and it is specially designed for our new incoming students as well as parents. So there is a place for everyone there. And as you see on your screen, all of those little boxes where you see the little green buttons there, I'll kind of highlight over on here. So whenever you see those are the ways that you get into those communities. And so depending on what they are, let's see a few of them: common interests, meet future Bobcats, everyone joins that one. There's one on housing, first generation students. And as I also mentioned, there are some that are specific to parents. So that way the parents don't have to be mixed with the community of students and vice versa. So everyone has that comfort level of asking questions that pertain to their specific community. So what this actually is, though, like I said, it is like a social media platform. It's a place where you can ask, again, as many questions as you'd like. We have professional career staff as well as student ambassadors. So you will have that opportunity to ask those questions to your peers. And what's the most exciting, in my opinion, is that you'll be able to start building a bond with other future Bobcats before you even come to campus. So why not start doing that now? And you can go ahead and start making new bonds and new friendships before you even come for orientation this summer. And you can find roommates this way. You can make new friends before you're even here. Not to mention getting all of those questions answered. There is an email that has been sent out to you. If for some reason you haven't seen that, we will go ahead and drop over into the chat box. We will give you the link so that you can get signed up and you also see it there on your screen. So if you have any questions, again, this is your time to go ahead and submit those in the Q&A button, and we will get to those here right now. Let me go ahead and invite all of my colleagues back on screen, and we will go ahead and dive into our first question. So is the tag really considered a guarantee? That is our first question to our panel.
Yeah, so I could go ahead and answer that one. So the answer to that would yes, as long as all of the requirements are being met for whichever major and school it is that you're applying to.
Very good. Let's move on to our next question. Are all the courses listed in ASSIST required in order to qualify for TAG?
I could also go ahead and answer this. So for this one, it depends. And so we definitely suggest to reach out to the individual campus office of admissions there to inquire more about their specific tag requirements to assist. Yeah, so that's how I would definitely approach that one.
Very good. All right, one more question here coming in. What should a student do if they have different or updated coursework that is different from their tag application?
So in this instance, we would definitely suggest a student to update their grades and coursework through the Transfer Academic Update, or the TAU. And then also another thing that would be helpful for us in the Office of Admissions is if we could also be provided with the current course schedule in the UC application.
Very good. And then I do see some questions coming in, and I would like to go ahead and share this screen one more time. So give me just a moment, but it does have to do with the dates and deadlines. And that's usually a pretty popular question on many of our webinars, because we do tend to talk about a lot of different dates and deadlines that are important. We have so many resources. And this, I think, would be a really good screen if someone would like to go ahead and grab their smartphone and take a picture. Then you can always reference this later on. And of course, this event, much like many of ours, this is being recorded, and just give me a couple of days and we will get this up for you on YouTube. So that's also a great opportunity if you would like to go ahead and rewatch this later on for future reference. I know we've talked about a lot of terminology and gone through a lot of slides tonight. So that would be another great resource. And again, that's over on the admitted.ucmerced.edu/events page. You'll find the links there as soon as they are available for you. And those links for the instant replays will take you over to our YouTube page. But while we are on this, can we just do a quick overview again? I know we've gone over it, but can we just walk through this timeline again, if one of you don't mind?
I could go ahead and go over the timelines. So I will go ahead and touch bases on the winter/spring tagline, and that's just because that one is currently ongoing. So the tag filing period is open already, and it opened up at the beginning of May, and it will close at the end of May. So we highly encourage students to be checking in or reaching out to their counselors and anyone that they know at the transfer center to help them file that tag application. Also, so then following their tag application, so it's going to be the UC regular application. So just because you file your tag application does not mean that's it and you're done, right? You still have your UC application that you have to make sure that you submit. And that one's going to open up July 1st, and that's going to close July 31st. So make sure that you're still submitting your UC application, even though you have your tag application set in. So then, and also making sure that when you submitted your tag, the major that you selected is also matching your UC application. And then August is going to roll around, and then that's where you could go ahead and make those updates, whether you changed classes, you dropped a class, or anything like that. You're going to update that on your TAU, which is the Transfer Academic Update. And then for fall, all you have to make sure is that you're still remaining eligible. So making sure you're still getting passing grades, whatever is met for your specific major. If it says that the courses that you have to take has to be passed with a B or better, for example, just making sure that you're checking your eligibility and making sure you're reading your contract and you're making sure that you're meeting all the requirements for fall so you could enter with us for the springtime.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, MJ. And what a wonderful night this has been. And thank you to all of my coworkers here and on-screen friends, as well as everyone behind the scenes getting to those incoming questions. Now we are getting ready to close out here. I do want to remind everyone who's on with us, go ahead and open up your chat box. We've been dropping links throughout this event. So in case you missed some of those, go ahead and open that up. You can start clicking on those. You should have some browser windows popping open so that you can reference those as soon as we're done here, and of course bookmark those. A couple of them, as we've been talking about, would be that admitted page for all of the future upcoming events and on-demand instant replays. Also the Bobcat Den that we spoke about, that is also something that is over there in that chat area. And we also have something that we haven't mentioned yet, but the link is there. It's called Bobcat Life. And what that is, it's a YouTube series that the Media Cats that are part of the admissions team, they have created that exclusively for you guys. And so go ahead and you can click on that. It will give you some insight to the dorms as well as some campus life and just getting to meet some of your fellow Bobcats that you will hopefully run across and bump into on campus whenever you guys are here. We've also included a link for campus tours. So if you haven't had a chance yet to tour the beautiful campus that we have here at UC Merced, that is how you can go about getting something registered there, as well as when you come to the Transfer Day event, in case you're not here for that, but you will also get a chance to tour the campus on that day as well. So this has been so much fun. It is always such a pleasure to be with you guys here. And before we do close, I'd like to offer my colleagues a moment to offer you a last word of advice.
Okay, so I can go. Something I'd like to always tell students is that when you're ready to do your TAP or your tag, just remember to have your transcripts with you. Because like we've mentioned throughout this presentation, it's important that you put down every course that you've taken. Also write down any college, if you've attended more than one college, write all the colleges down or universities. Even if you've passed the grading, even if you retook it. So that is something that's very important, and I always like to remind students about that.
Thank you so much, Marcini. Who's next?
I could go ahead and go. Something that I would like to tell students is that make sure you use all your resources. So regarding checking in with the counselor, because sometimes there's going to be little requirements that maybe you're not aware of, and you're not even sure if you're completing them or there's a timeline when they need to be completed. So just checking in with your counselors at your community college or asking if there's a UC representative specifically to the institution that you're trying to tag to. So for example, I'm the UC Merced representative at Merced College. So go ahead and checking in with those UC representatives just to make sure that everything's in order. And also you have, that security that you're submitting everything on time.
Great, thank you so much, MJ. And I did just drop over into the chat box if you guys do want to click on how to meet with an advisor. So if you do need some help with that, we have that link available. Brandon, I'll toss it over to you.
Great, thanks, Ricky. Another piece of advice or suggestion that I would definitely add to what MJ and Marcini were suggesting, but definitely reaching out for additional assistance, right? So if you're confused on something or maybe stuck somewhere along the way, to reach out to the Office of Admissions, and then you now have our direct contact info as well. So send us an email, click on our booking links, and reach out, and we're definitely more than happy to help you all out with those questions.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much. And my last little word of advice is that don't forget to submit your statement of intent to register. So for transfer students, that is going to be June the 1st. So if you have questions about that, there is a website available as well. And the place that you want to do that is on decision.ucmerced.edu. Again, it's decision.ucmerced.edu. and that transfer deadline for your SIR or statement of intent to register is June the 1st. So make sure that you mark your calendars. Of course, like many deadlines, you don't have to wait until June 1st. You can go ahead and do that right now as soon as we close out here in the next few seconds. So, but just go ahead and mark your calendar and make sure that you don't miss out on that great opportunity to become a Bobcat. This has been such a great night. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So we're so thrilled to take some time out and share that with you this evening. I am looking very much forward to meeting you someday in person, if not on the next virtual event, one of those that we mentioned earlier tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Ricky Hill, your e-recruiter, and we will see you again very soon. Have a great night, everyone.